finances and budgeting. Welcome back to my channel. I am Nicole, for those of you who don't know, and today's video is a little bit different for me, but it does go along with my consistency series that I'm doing for 2024. So my word for 2024 is consistency, and something that I've never really talked about on my channel, but something that I always do and something I actually enjoy doing is talking about finances and talking about my budget and how I budget my finances, how I save money and make big purchases. It's just something I really enjoy. And so because I am trying to be consistent in actually using my budget tracker this year, I decided to add it into this series. So I have my budget planner and my regular planner, and I am ready to get to these finances. I did want to give a couple of tips for like plans and goals. So the first thing I wanted to say was that the systems, like the systems I put in place, or plans or trackers, are really good at making sure that you're actually reaching your goals, because you can set a goal to lose 10 pounds, but if you're never checking in to see if you're actually losing weight and making a plan to go to the gym and having like these check-ins, you're never going to do it, right? So set the goal, make the plan, have a tracker, some sort of way of tracking to see how you're doing with these goals, even habits. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is to have an accountability partner, especially for something like finances or something where like it's really easy to veer off and not stay on track. An accountability partner or a purpose partner, somebody that's gonna be checking in with you, making sure you reach your goals. Like for me, just something as simple as drinking my water that I'm supposed to drink. I have a gallon jug that I take with me to work every day, and I have that because I'm not in my classroom like all day. I'm a floating teacher, so for 8 periods a day I'm floating around the building, and it's annoying to have to keep going back to refill water. So I take my gallon, it has the times on it, and the kids will be like, "Miss, it's 10 o'clock and you're still at 7, like you slacking." And I start drinking my water. Like, they hold me accountable. So don't try to do all of this on your own. Make sure you just have somebody, even if they check in like once a week or once a month, and like, "Girl, how much did you save?" Or like, "Did you go work out today?" Anything simple just to kind of keep you going. And in order to be consistent this year, I have put some systems and plans in place to help myself be successful. I made myself my own planner, and I made it with Canva. It was so simple. So if you have a Canva account, I don't even think you need the Pro. There is a page limit. So yeah, I just used Canva and I made my own planner. I detailed it out exactly how I want it. If you want a little bit more info on how I did that, you can check the video down in the description or above in the cards. And if you really want a detailed, comment down below and I'll give you like step-by-step of how I decided to come up with my planner for the year. But something else that I've done, a system, is to budget my finances and track my budget. So I started out very simple, pencil and paper. I would write down the bills I had. I would write down, you know, every time I paid a bill, just simple, pencil and paper. And then when I was prepping to buy my house, my friend actually helped me with my finances to prepare. And she did such a great job. She made me a spreadsheet and it was awesome. Only problem was I never really sat down at my computer often enough to update it. So I had a budget, but I was never really looking at how much I was spending versus how much I was making each month. And so this year I hopped on Shein to look at something and I saw this cute little budget planner, and it's so small that it can go in my purse, and it was like a couple of bucks. If I can find it, I will link it down below. So the way this one kind of works out, it has like your month, each month like mapped out, and then it actually has a tracker after the month so you can write down and just track your expenses. And something that I realized is, if it's small and it's in my purse, I'm more likely to do it. And if I have to keep writing everything down, I'm not going to go outside of the things that I actually need to buy, because I'm not gonna sit there and write everything down. So this is another little system within the system to keep me on track and not overspending this year. All right, so now let's talk budgeting. So you're probably thinking, "Girl, it is February. Why are you just now doing your budget?" Well, all my teachers here in YouTube land probably know, but as a teacher in my district at least, you get your last paycheck on December 15th, and that's actually your January paycheck, but they give it to you in December. So I don't count that into my fiscal year because all the bills are paid and all that money is gone. Everything that I have had to pay for up until February 1st, like, it's been done, and I just don't count that into my budget for my 2024 year. Like, 2024 for me for budget starts February 1st, probably in all things, because honestly this year has just gone by really fast, but specifically for my budget I don't start until February. So that's why I'm starting so late with like looking at my finances and really coming up with some plans. I already had goals for my finances, but I haven't put anything into place. If you want to work your budget, here are the steps you need. So the first thing you have to do is actually look at how much money you're bringing in. If you're someone like me who only gets one paycheck, knowing your finances is not really that hard. Like, you know how much your weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly check is. So for me, I know my set amount of money, and so I just start with writing that down. So step 2 is to really like break down your expenses between like my fixed expenses that like never really change. Like, as long as I have a house, I'm gonna have to pay for my mortgage, my gas, my electricity, all of that. And then like the variable ones, that like the ones that can change, that fluctuate. Like, do I really need to buy clothes every month? No. So I break down my expenses, and I have that right here, just simple on paper. So I make it really simple. So I do transportation and everything that goes under transportation. So you have to think about things like, how much gas do you spend every week? If you have a car payment, for me, I don't have a car payment. My car is paid off. Sally is rolling 12 years strong, and I probably need a new car. I probably need to work that in my budget. But as long as she's running good, I don't worry about it. So if you have a car payment, gas, insurance, and then what I like to do is, I know every so many months you need an oil change, right? So I set aside money for an oil change, and then just basic money for repairs. And so for me in that area with repairs and maintenance, what I do is I just set like $10–15 aside each month. That way when that big bill comes, I'm good. So like, I hadn't had to do any real repairs on my car in a while, but January 1st hit and my car started acting real crazy, and so I had to spend like $800 in my car. But it was money I had been saving and saving over time anyway, so it didn't hit me as hard. Even though it hit me, it didn't hit me as hard because I had already prepared for that. So that's how I break down transportation. So next is like my household bills. So my mortgage.
So one thing I forgot to mention, when you are mapping out your expenses and really formulating a budget, is you want to make sure you are kind of guesstimating what each category would be if it's not something that is fixed and that you pay the same thing every month, like your mortgage or your car payment or your insurance. If it's something like groceries or something like, you know, miscellaneous for, or if it's something like water that fluctuates, you kind of want to take the average of it and set an amount and then go from there. So for me, I like to do $300 in gas a month. That's just a guesstimate of how much I think I'm going to need based off of a previous month. Or I know that I'm going to spend maybe $50 on myself that month. I budget that out based off of some of the items I like to buy every month. So make sure you actually like set an amount that you're willing to spend in each area.
My electricity, the gas, the water and trash, my phone, cable, internet, security system, and then something that I have not been doing and I forget about every year, and it comes out, well, they send me the bill every first of the year, is my HOA fees. And it's just because it wasn't something I was always used to, and so this is the 3rd year I've had to pay it, and now I'm like, all right, you have to add HOA fees into your budget, because that little $240, like, I was like, dang, right after Christmas. And then lifestyle. So my lifestyle expenses are basically under this category, just groceries, miscellaneous spending, and then like subscriptions. So I put Cole, my main bill in my life is my child. He has his own little section with his daycare fees and like miscellaneous for him for clothes, shoes, etc. He's gonna have a bigger budget than me because all of a sudden he started growing. Then I list out my credit cards. And the last thing I have is my tithes and my savings. So one thing I do, and I don't do it like at the top of the year, but I just do it often, is like I pray over my finances, because trust me, a single income home with a child, it's rough out here in these streets. Like, bills is expensive, and the Lord stretches my finances. I am also a good steward, and that is part of it, but he stretches them. And I also pay my tithes every month. That's like the first bill that goes. Like, it's not even like a question, automatically paid. So what I like about this little planner from Shein is they basically have it listed out the way I list it out. Like, they have your housing, your food, your health, your transportation, entertainment, loan, and personal. There's some things on here that I'm not going to use, like insurance and medical, because they take that out of my check, so I never even see it. Like, it's not factored in. But it does have this category down here for others, and so you just add in whatever you need. At this point, you can look at your expenses versus your income. I'm not going to bore you with going through all of my expenses, but let me just give you an example. If you make $6,000 a month, if that's how much you bring home after taxes, and your bills are like $4,000, then you have $2,000 to play with, and you can decide how you use that. For me, when I do this process, I try to get my expenses down as low as possible so I can save the most money. In the past, I just generically set like a $200 goal to save every month, but now I want to be very intentional about looking at what's left over and saving what's left over, because if it's left over, then I don't need it and I can just put it to the side. All right, so something I do while I am tracking all of my expenses, as you can see, I am like listing it all out, and I'm like, girl, you need to cut back. So something I do, I print out my bank statements. I have 2 months worth right here, and I kind of comb through it, and I really look to see, like, girl, what did you spend your money on? And then I try to find those recurring subscriptions that I completely forgot about. So one recurring subscription I know I've been paying for and I kind of forgot about was Disney Plus. So Disney Plus was for my foster daughters. They absolutely loved Disney, and it helped when we go out of town. I would just download the movies to the iPad. But then my son wasn't watching, and I kept saying, I'm gonna cancel. Right when I was about to cancel it, he starts watching Disney, and I'm like, really? So that's $15 a month. I know it's coming out. However, I don't pay for Hulu or Netflix. My mom pays for one, and then one is free through our phone. So there's that. I don't pay for those. I am paying for Peacock, and I probably need to cancel that because we weren't getting channels with Direct, and Direct gave me a credit, so I wasn't paying for Peacock really. I don't know. I need to cancel it now because they're not going to keep giving me credits because they gave us all our channels back now. So like, I know I need to cancel some subscriptions. So I just kind of go through and I look and see. And let me tell you, homegirl was eating out a lot, and the scale will concur. Okay. You definitely don't have to print these out. I can easily just do the same thing I'm doing but on my phone, but it's just so much easier just to have the printout and go and highlight and check. Okay, so when I look at it, I didn't do too bad. I have a couple of recurring fees that I need to cancel. The gym. I have spent $35 a month on the gym. I have not been to the gym once, not once. So that is actually something we are going to take care of today. So I have all my expenses tracked down. I'm going to tally it up and see what the difference is between what I'm bringing in and what's going out. Your girl gonna need a second income, my goodness. All right, so the budget is done. I have tallied up how much is actually going out versus how much is coming in. The remaining from that is what I call fun money. It's what I get to spend my money on for the remainder of the year, as far as like savings, like if I want to put a certain amount of savings. And so with my savings, what I do is I will decide on the amount, and as soon as I get paid, I will shift it into, like, say if I'm doing $200, I'll put 100 in one account, 100 in the other account. And a little backup plan for my savings that I have is I've enrolled in the little cash that. I don't even know what it's called through Bank of America, but it's called Keep the Change. So whenever I slide my card, whatever the remaining change would be up to the next dollar, like if I spent $2.80, it's gonna put the 20 cents in my savings. So I'm constantly saving even when I'm not actively thinking about moving money over to my savings. So that's a nice little tip too, if you want to actively save your money. I know personally, I want to save $20,000. I don't know how I'm gonna do that unless I just don't spend like at all, but that is my goal. And it's not $20,000 just like for my emergency fund. You should have like 3 times your income as your emergency fund. That's my emergency fund, my fun money. So if there's a trip and I just wanna go and somebody asks me at the last minute, bam, I can go. And then like projects I want to do around the house. Like I want to get something built onto the house. I know already how much it's going to cost. I can start saving towards that. So I want to have at least $20,000 in my savings account by the end of the year. Is it a stretch? Yes. Can I do it? We shall see come December. I am going to keep you all updated, and I'm gonna stay updated, but it's just my goal. And I do have money in my savings now, so it's not like I'm just gonna be starting from 0 all the way to 20,000 in 1 year. But that is my goal. Even though my budget, like how much money I'm budgeting for each month, is a little high, the thing I factored in is I'm putting money aside for things I'm not actually paying for. So that money's never really leaving my account. It's just in the budget to see what I can spend extra. And even things like buying me an outfit is factored in, even though I'm not gonna do that every month. I'm actually not going to spend outside of my main house's food and car expenses if I don't have to. And my child, I'm telling y'all, he is my biggest bill. We're done with daycare, we're gonna be good. I think I've done pretty good job of explaining how I really start setting my budget for the month and what I do. And I always round up, so there's no like, oh, this one was exactly $132. No, like if my water bill was $125, I'm gonna round up to $130 each month, because I know like the average at this point of what it's gonna be. Of course, there's months where it fluctuates, which is why you put a cushion. But yeah, I always put over, so it looks a little high for my budget, but it's not really that high. So real quick, before we move on to the fun part, I want to talk about some ways that I am cutting down on my budget. All right, so maybe you're like me and you're like, oh my gosh, my expenses are way too high. I need to cut back and like adjust my budget a little. Maybe instead of spending $500 a month in groceries, you want to spend $300 a month in groceries. I got you, friend. Something that I do is I look at where I can cut back and like really save in some of my higher spending categories. Now, things like your household bills, like your mortgage and stuff, you're not gonna be able to adjust that. Cable, you could probably cancel some of your subscriptions to Hulu and Netflix if you really wanted to save. For me, I need my TV, so that's not gonna happen. But something I have been doing is I've been doing my own nails, and while they don't look the best right now, they looked pretty good when I did them before. So during COVID, I actually had bought me this whole set to do my own gel nails and all this stuff. So I have everything I need to do manicures and pedicures at home. So this year I just started again doing my own manicures and pedicures. I have not been to the salon. That saves me a ton of money every month. So that's one way, is like doing stuff at home for yourself. I even have the little spa tub thing that I got for Christmas one year and haven't even pulled it out. So I'm just gonna start doing these things for myself. Another thing that I have stopped doing this year was eating out so much. I ate out probably once a day, every day, and that adds up. I've started taking my lunch again and cooking at home more. And I also got my grocery bill down. So instead of just going into the store and just wandering around and picking up stuff as I please, I actually have a plan before I even step foot into the grocery store. So I'm gonna bring you along on my grocery adventure. But let's get a little bit more comfortable before we head to the grocery store. All right, friends, so I'm ready for budget grocery battle. So something that I love doing, and I actually started doing this with my foster daughters because they'd always want to get in on the meals, and it helped with the pickiness if they had a say in what our meals were. So we would do this every Friday. So what we would do is we would start in the pantry and in the fridge, and we would look at what we already had in the house and what meals we could make out of what we had, and kind of just map out our meals for the whole week. And then from there, whatever we were missing from those meals, that's what we buy at the grocery store. So for me, I set a budget of $75. $75 a week at the grocery store, but really I could probably keep it under 50. We're gonna try. It's gonna be our challenge for today. But I probably could keep it under 50, except for my son likes a very specific type of pouch, and he will not eat regular fruit. So in order to get him some fruit in, I buy these pouches, and they are very expensive once you think about constantly buying them, and I probably should look into a cheaper alternative. But yeah, my budget is $75, and we're gonna try to stay under that $75. All right, so we're in the pantry, and I am looking, and our diet is a little bit different right now, so I have to kind of be mindful of that. Church kids, tap in. If you know, you know. And so I need to throw this out. This is also a good time to like clean out, so I need to throw this out. This is what my pantry is currently looking like. I actually have a video where I pulled everything out of here, organized it, and somehow it just got all unorganized again. But anyways, so I love eating tuna for lunch, and so I have plenty cans of tuna. I do not need to buy any more tuna. I am good to go there, and so I will be making me like a big pot of tuna for lunch. And I have some potatoes, some green beans. I don't have any corn, and my son loves corn, and like he will eat that for every meal. I do have some rice left, stuff to make spaghetti. So for instance, like my son loves a bag of chips after daycare every day, so he has plenty of chips, a couple of puddings for his dessert, but he has no pouches, no fruit. So let's check the fridge real quick and see what we have in here, and let's also check the freezer. All right, y'all, so we are in the fridge, and I am adding to our grocery list. I just like to do a quick little notes in my phone about the things we need. So I like to jot down everything I see that like I'm missing that I know for sure I need, like the corn, the pouches. I clearly see we're gonna need some more milk because that's not gonna hold anyone. He has plenty of juice, so we're good with juice. All right. So let's keep looking and see what else we have in here and we don't have. I can clearly see we're gonna need some eggs because we are completely out of eggs. So we put eggs on the list. I still have plenty of grapes, but I am pretty much out of apples. So I have added apples to the list. All right, let's check the freezer. So I have not cooked in a while, so I'm kind of low on a lot of things. We got some toast, garlic toast, so if we wanted to do spaghetti, we could. We have some sweet potatoes, just some extra little veggies, and then this is the meat that we have. My son absolutely loves these meatballs, so I get these for him, and he's actually running low, so he's gonna need some meatballs. I do have some ground beef, but I can't have any of this stuff right now, so I'm gonna have to get very creative this week. All right, friends, so we kind of have the list of everything we're empty on. I know what's in the pantry, so I am now prepping my week in my planner, and on the side is where I put my meals for each day. So lunch for me is kind of easy. I am gonna see if I can budget in those ready-made salads because I really like them, but we're gonna make sure we stay within budget. But so I'm gonna put salad, but I also can just make a salad at home. But I'm gonna need eggs, tomatoes, and salad. And I think I have croutons and dressing already, so we're good. but I like to just kind of think about my week and how either busy I'm gonna be or not busy I'm gonna be. Last week I made chicken pot pie without the bread and just had like the soupy mix spread on top of potatoes, and it was so good. So I guess it's almost, I'm sure that's another meal, I just don't know what it's called. So I think I might do that again tonight and have that for the next couple of days. So we'll just say chicken. So I'll do the chicken pot pie with potatoes. And in the chicken pot pie, it has corn and peas and carrots, and I'm gonna need cream of chicken for that, and the chicken and the corn. So I need corn, cream of chicken, and chicken, and I have the rest of the ingredients. So that is like really simple. So that will suffice for Monday and Tuesday because we believe in leftovers in this household. For a lunch each day, I'm going to have tuna and crackers, and we already have crackers, or tuna and salad. And that is so simple because I'll only need eggs for that, which we need in general. And I already have the crackers and just need to buy salad. All right, so before we head out to the store, I'm actually about to eat a little tuna I made last night because I'm hungry. And the worst thing, anybody knows this, anybody that's ever gone to the grocery store on an empty stomach knows the worst thing to do is shop on an empty stomach, because you will just start grabbing things just because you're hungry and it won't even make sense. But I did want to say, if you want more tips for how to like really work your budget with your groceries, if like groceries is a big thing for you, I'm going to put a YouTuber's information down in the description. Her name is Jordan Page, and her page is, I think it's called Fun Cheap for Free. I absolutely love watching her page. She is like my ideal woman as far as like mother and taking care of the household, because she is like the budget queen and she cooks all her meals and she has so many children. Like that is what I envision my life, is like having a bunch of kids running around, and her life and like how she set it up is very like kid friendly, and I absolutely love that because I mean I always have children, or at least my child, and she even like has like a little snack area and a small fridge built in for the kids so they can like get snacks and get things for themselves that they need. I don't know, she's an awesome page to watch. But I learned how to budget for my groceries from her. And so the trick about like looking what you have first before you go to the grocery store and planning your meals, I don't know if she actually plans her meals per se, but she does check the fridge and everything before she goes to the store. So that's where I got that. But there's definitely so many ways to come up with like your budget and how you want to do it. Even like with my credit cards, my debt, like my plan for my credit cards, and this worked before and I'm probably going to do it again, is I guess you would call it the snowball effect. Can't tell you. I know somebody made that up, and I think, is it Dave Ramsey? Y'all, I don't even know. Anyways, the snowball effect. So you pay the minimum on your credit cards, but then you also pick one card and you're gonna pay like way over the amount that's due to get your balance down. And for me, when I was getting my house, I did that. But what I did was I used Credit Karma, not sponsored by the way. And what I do, I've been using Credit Karma for years, especially when trying to get my house. I really like focused in. So if you go on your Credit Karma app, it will tell you like your credit card usage for each card. So what I would do when I was ready to pay down my bills is I would go in and I would look at my credit card usage, and what my loan officer told me was you want everything to be like 30% and below. So if there was one that was like 75% and the rest were kind of low, I would focus in on the one that was 75%, see what the balance was, factor in my head how long I want to spend paying that off. So if it was like 5 months, I'd take that total, divide it by 5, and that's how much I paid on it every month. And it just meant I had to cut back in another area. And then after that got paid off, I took that amount, applied it to the next credit card, and just kept doing the same thing. So I pretty much had no credit card debt when I bought my house. Now, when I bought my house, I got a little lax in the budget. But anyways, so there's just some extra tips as far as budgeting and like paying bills and paying down debts and stuff that I wanted to give before we head to the grocery store. So quick tip as we head off on our grocery store adventure. Do not be afraid
to buy cheaper brands at the store. I buy the store brand anywhere I go. So if I am at HEB, I will buy the HEB brand of milk and eggs and whatever else there is. Like, I could care less. I go for the cheapest things. Now, there are some things that I will not budge on, like my coffee, and like certain snacks. But outside of that, like, I could care less. I'm going to pick up the cheapest pack of meat. If there is meat on sale, I'm gonna get it and freeze it. Like, that's how we roll, okay? So don't be afraid to get the cheap stuff. Also going to stop for gas, because I have like 3/4 of a tank and I just want to start the week off good. Gas, I can typically get away with $20 like twice a week, so $40 a week. Now, granted, I don't go anywhere on the weekends really except for church and the grocery store. And so like, I'm a homebody, so once the week is up, my car is parked and I don't spend gas. Other people might have like a lot to do on the weekends and they can't do that, so gas is a little bit more. But that is one thing, like, if I don't have to go anywhere, I don't. And if I make a trip out the house, I'm going to keep going and like, I'm not gonna like come back and forth to the house. Like, I'm just gonna stay out, get everything I need to get done, and then go home. And the other part of why gas is so expensive, like why I have to fill up more than once a week, is because I work in the next town. So every day my drive is like 45 minutes to an hour one way. And so that's a lot of gas. But I used to be able just to do $20 a week. I so miss that. But yeah, so let's head to this grocery store. I finished at the first store. We are still under our budget. I am heading to Sam's because I like to buy my hygiene products in bulk there, and I do need to pick up a couple of items, and my mom wants salads from there, and since I'm under budget, I might grab me a couple, but we shall see.
All right, y'all, so we are back. I just got back from the store. First, I did go and cancel my Crunch membership, so that is done. $35 will now be going to savings, no more of that. And then, so I have my groceries here all lined up. I'm gonna show you exactly what I got and what I spent my money on. So I bought 2 things of salad and some tomatoes for my mom, so like that's her part of the bill. And then I did buy personal care items, like that will go under personal care, so that will go under that bill. But I will show you everything and then tell you my total. So quickly, these are the things that we got. So my son likes these little pouches. I actually did end up buying some of the cheaper ones, so that saved me some money. He will eat just these 2 kinds, like the apples and bananas together, and then the apple oatmeal cinnamon. He actually likes eating these in the morning, like 1 in the morning and then 1 at night with his dinner. And I got him 12 to get us all the way to next Saturday. There's some days he doesn't want them and he just wants dry cereal. So sometimes these last us for 2 weeks. And I just got the rest of his right here. I got us 2 packages of the potatoes. I don't think he's gonna eat 2 this week, but like I said, my mom has been coming over and she'll eat these with him. So I got 2 of those packages. I also got the whole wheat spaghetti. I did have regular spaghetti in there, but we're eating the whole wheat right now. I got 3 tomatoes for my mom. She wanted some tomatoes for the pre-made salads because they don't come with tomatoes in them. I got some chicken breast tenders. The tenders are actually easier to shred in the crock pot when I'm making like my crock pot meals, so I got those. I got 2 things of milk because they didn't have like the whole gallon, so I had to get the half gallon. And my personal care items from Sam's. So that's gonna be why my total at Sam's was so high, is because I bought that in bulk. Then I got some bananas, and I got enough for me and my mom, so she's probably gonna take 4 and I'll take 4 for the week. I got some baby spring mix and the butter salad blend. I actually like to mix these two. This butter salad is like the best salad ever. I got a dozen eggs. This was actually not on the shopping list, but when I got there, I was like, I want to try mixing this into my spaghetti that I'm gonna make this week and see how that tastes. I got 2 cans of corn. I probably could have got away with just 1, but I went ahead and got 2. 2 things of cream of chicken, the ragu sauce, and I actually put the Prego back and got ragu because it was cheaper. So I also did get some ground turkey. I got some more broccoli. I got this rotisserie chicken breast. I want to add this into my little mini lunch bowl I've been making with cheese and crackers, egg, apples, grapes, and then I want to add that in there. And I got me some more apples. I got 4 of these 2-pack salads, so that's actually 8. 2 of the Santa Fe, 3 of the Caesar. These 2 are my mom's because she likes the Caesar, and then I got me 1 of each. And then last but not least, some bread. All right, so that's everything I got. And at Sam's, I spent a total of $54.68. And then at HEB, I spent a total of $59.87. So we're just gonna round up to 55 and 60 because my phone does the keep the change. And then of course I stopped by Dollar Tree and got 5 items, so that was that. I just rounded up to $6. However, the dressings are for my mother because she didn't have any of this dressing at her house. So really the dressing and the seasonings, the things I got at the Dollar Tree was actually for my mom because she was on the road and so she wasn't going to the store. So that is actually her stuff. And then the 2 salads are actually hers too, so that takes off $10 from my Sam's total. So really on food I spent $60 at HEB. Again, a little of this is still hers, but we'll just count it in my total. And I spent $12 at Sam's, so I spent $72. Now, I could have gone without the rotisserie chicken. I just wanted to put that in my lunch this week. I've also could have went without the pre-made salads because I bought regular salad to mix anyways. I also could have went without the spaghetti, but it wasn't that much. I went cheaper on the apples, like just getting some whole apples and slicing them, but sometimes you pay for convenience. Under my budget by $3. So and then some of the stuff will actually stretch into next week, like chicken. I don't need all of that chicken for this week, so I'm gonna actually take some out and put it in little freezer bags. So that's something else, like you can dip into your next week's fund if you are finding a good price on something. So definitely won't be buying, like I don't buy eggs every week. I don't need that many eggs. I don't go through them that fast. Also right now we're kind of sharing grocery bills with my mom because she's been over here a lot more. So I've been buying stuff for her as well so that when she comes over she can have some things that she wants as well or needs. And so yeah, that is why we were at $72. However, we still stayed under budget. So that was that. And we canceled our membership. So I'm gonna go back to my budget planner now and finish out this video. That's literally my process I do every week to make sure that I'm staying within budget for my groceries. Same things for other areas. Like if I can buy in bulk and save money, I do that. So like my personal care items, I won't have to buy those items again for like another month or 2 maybe. Like I won't have to buy that many. And then things out of my budget that I know I'm not gonna use. So what I would typically do is leave this in the car in my purse. This is just something I'm telling you, it's so tedious. Like you do not have to do this. But on the expense tracker, I actually would do this online, and as I would add something else in, it would tally it for me. Like you can do a spreadsheet and it automatically does this. But there's something about writing it. I'm gonna get tired of writing, so I'm literally probably gonna only do this when I'm getting gas and when I'm doing groceries, and then like every once in a while miscellaneous spending, because I absolutely don't want to do it and it's going to keep me from spending too much. At least that's my theory this year, because I would just spend last year and not get on the computer and put it in. But if I have this with me, I might be more apt to not spend. So for example, the total I spent today, I only spent $13 on gas. So like I filled in the 3 things I know I spent money on, like the 3 areas: personal care, groceries, and gas. And then at the end of the month, you just tally it up and see if you actually stayed within budget. If you are somebody who kind of wants to like compare it all month, you can. You're just gonna probably do a lot of erasing, so write it in pencil. And then at the end of the month, you tally it up, and they have the budgeted, the actual, and the difference between the two. Like if you went over, if you stayed under, how much you actually spent. So there's some things that I could like fill in at the beginning of the month. Like as soon as I pay my mortgage, I can put what I actually spent. Like I always go over. My mortgage is not $1,600, but I rounded it up. My electricity bill, all of those things for my home are already paid for the month, so I literally can go in and just fill those in. And so it's not as tedious as you think, because like the expense tracker is for the things that like you keep adding up, like gas. You're gonna get gas like at least 6 to 8, depending on how much you drive, 10 times a month. So put that in or do it weekly and just keep up with your budget. And you don't have to keep doing this. When you learn to like live under your budget or live within your budget, then the expense tracker kind of becomes a thing. Like you don't need it anymore because you know like you can't spend over this amount. But yeah, that's it. All right, so with canceling my membership, I was planning on this for a while. So what I did before I stopped spending, so what I did is I bought myself a workout machine that I've been seeing on YouTube. I've been seeing this one woman using this thing. All right, so this is the little mini stepper that I got. I am going to try this out. I do plan on using this in the morning, and I probably won't use it every day, but I like that it had the exercise bands with it. And so I have my own personal little mini gym here at home. I don't actually need to go to the gym, and this thing only cost me 2 months worth of the gym that I was wasting. So, and I just got the cheaper version of it. Like I didn't need anything too like high tech and like masterful. And then in addition to that, I actually have a whole drawer of workout items that I used to use and probably will continue using. So I have these ankle weights that I used to just wear around the house. I have these small little dumbbells. This is for your tummy. I do still have some bands, some exercise bands. This is an ab roller, a weighted jump rope. This goes to the ab roller. These were actually gloves from when I was doing boxing. And then this is the one exercise machine my mom bought me that I never used for your abs and your waist. So yeah, I'm gonna finally put that together and use that as well. And then over here you can see I have some heavier weights. Yeah, you definitely don't even need to buy even all of that. I just figured if I'm gonna be wasting my money on a gym membership, I might as well just buy what I would probably go to the gym to use, and then pull out the rest of the things that I constantly use at the gym, like the little dumbbells. Like I have those things, so just use it here. And I love following YouTube videos and watching like people that I feel like are my personal trainers. I'm finding exercises and routines that I personally like to do, and I do that in the mornings, and it doesn't have to be hard at all. I do like a little 30-minute session, and then I start my day. So yeah, use what you have. Save your money where you can. If you live in an apartment and you have a pool, then exercise in the pool or exercise in the home gym. Go for walks. When it gets warmer, my son and I actually will be going back on our daily walks to the park. We walk to our neighborhood park and play. So it's a 15-minute walk there, a 15-minute walk back, and then we play for 30 minutes. So that is how we get our exercise in the evenings. It's just been a little bit too cold to be out, but Groundhog Day said that we're getting an early spring. So yeah, that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you've already like created your budget, or if you are ready to like start building your budget and like really going through your finances and like managing your money well so that you can reach your financial goals during 2024. I plan on doing some quarterly check-ins. I feel like after each quarter, that's a good like place to like come in and check back and see how I've been doing with my expenses, see how I'm doing with my finance goals as far as like what I want to save. I don't know if I actually said this, but so my finance goals are the $20,000 in savings, but also to pay off at least 3 of my credit cards. And from that, like with the $20,000, I'm hoping that that will be able to cover like my home improvement projects I want to do and a down payment for a new car because I desperately need one. And a couple of things I did not say about things that I have eliminated from my budget besides gym and just getting my nails done and stuff. Something else is I have been determined to potty train my child so that I can stop paying for pull-ups. We have been going through pull-ups like crazy and they're expensive and a waste of time. So I opted to buy him training pants and items that I can just keep washing, and that way I don't have to keep buying pull-ups. So if I do buy pull-ups, it's gonna be like a small pack for nighttime, but not the big bulk from Sam's that I have to keep buying and supplying to daycare and to my mom's house because he will not sit on the potty. So in addition to the quarterly check-ins, I will be doing just check-ins here and there in my weekly vlogs. I've been doing my consistency diary vlogs and keeping up with my 2024 goals all year long. And so I will put like little tidbits in there as well and just different ways I'm continuing to practice saving and stay within or under my budget. So that's it for this video. Give me a thumbs up if you would like to see more content like this. And if you are not subscribed, feel free to subscribe and join the family. We are working on ourselves all 2024 and being the best woman, mother, employee, whatever we are, the best that we can be all 2024 and beyond, just setting ourselves up for success. So that is it, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye guys.